Wait a minute. You're talking to me. You're talking to me.
Hold on. This isn't about a plea deal anymore. This is about respect for the courtroom. The judge is calmly explaining the process, and the defendant keeps talking over everyone, arguing facts, and trying to control the room. When a judge has to repeatedly say, "You're talking to me," that's already a warning. This moment sets the tone: frustration, entitlement, and a defendant who thinks volume can replace strategy.
Mr. Moore? Mr. Moore?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's not shout at people. Let's not raise our voices. Here's the thing. If an attorney is telling you what the state is offering, all you have to do, if you don't want to accept the offer, just say you don't want to accept it, say you want a jury trial, and you'll get a jury trial. But your attorney can't make the state offer you something that you want them to offer you.
It's not what, no. So it's not what they offer. It's what you're lying on and trying to give me. And I know what I did. It was an argument.
Okay, so
It
here's
was
the
an argument. It was an argument. It was
then
an
it
argument.
means you need a jury trial. That's what you're saying. You want a jury trial.
It was an argument between me and my relatives.
All right, let me ask you,
Start
who's the
adding
prosecutor on this
adding on
case?
extra names onto the case. She added extra names on the, wait a minute. You're talking to me. You're talking to me.
Are you the prosecutor on the
You're
case?
talking to me. You said John, you just said John Moore,
Are you
right?
planning on dismissing these charges? All right, so it sounds like they're going to want a jury trial. Are you planning on offering something different than you've already offered? All right, so is your client going to accept anything or no?
He has just informed me, we talked last night, but he informed me this morning because of some of the particulars, he's not going to accept the agreement.
All right, so nothing will, it sounds as though you all are at an impasse. The state, you're saying that you're not going to offer anything differently. And defense, I'm assuming there's no counter offer, right?
No, at this I did. I made a counter offer to the state and they rejected it.
All right, so do you have all of the discovery?
I do have all of the discovery. If I could, the one thing with moving forward, and it started last night with these outbursts, I'm starting to have potentially some competency issues. I want to stop and pause before I make that decision, but I think I'll need to file a suggestion or motion that he needs to be evaluated for, I really can't communicate with him right now, Judge. And that's part of what I have to do to make sure he's competent.
All right, so is the communication issue, and I don't want to interfere with attorney-client privilege, but is the communication more of he's not accepting your advice or you don't believe he understands?
Sometimes I don't believe he truly
I didn't
understands.
understand. I would not respond.
Okay.
For one, don't insult me. If
All
I
right.
did not understand,
All right, he can be
insult me,
excused.
though.
Thank you.
Don't insult me.
All right, can we set this for a jury trial?
You're ganging up on
What
me.
day?
I'm going, but don't insult me. So if I do not understand the case, I would not respond. You understand that?
Yeah.
Today is.
So let me just tell you, today is Monday. If anybody thought today was not Monday, let me just tell you, today is Monday. Yes.
And I just started seeing this last night.
Okay.
And I understand, I don't know when the court's going to reset me. I would have to file a motion at this stage on the competency issue, Your Honor.
I would have no objection to that because I've had those concerns myself since I reviewed this case.
All
Well,
right.
and it's, for me, I hadn't seen it yet, but I saw it last night for the first time.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, they're going to file a motion to have him evaluated for competency. And I will say this is the first time I've seen him be this way since he's come to court. So,
Same with me.
all right. So what we'll do, Norma, if you can set this for the second week in December, and that's to make sure that everything has been filed.
I can do December 11th.
I will follow it this afternoon, and the second week of December is perfect for me. I live to snow ski, and I'm going to open it this year, the first week of December.
Okay.
So thank you, Your Honor, for that.
This case starts with a warning, not a surprise. He's told flat out, 2 years in state jail is on the table, $10,000 fine, and he still pleads true. No deal, no protection. From there, it's a flood of excuses: transportation, money, housing, relationships, everything except sustained compliance. Probation wants revocation. The state wants revocation. Defense wants mercy. But listen closely, every almost finished, every about to start, every I was trying comes after arrests, missed drug tests, and new charges. The judge isn't here to reward intentions. She's here to measure behavior. And this courtroom is about to find out whether excuses outweigh choices, or whether accountability finally shows up.
Could find it true grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility
Yes,
and up to $10,000 fine.
yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There's not, Judge. I'll see that you its motion and revoke his community supervision and sentence him to 2 years in the state jail facility.
All right. In defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we went open so that my client would have an opportunity, one, to be reinstated, and if in the alternative, to see if you could be a little bit more lenient than the state. He faces 2 years state jail. Clearly, he made a lot of mistakes. Probation is recommending revocation. The state's recommending revocation. He just pled to a burglary that was reduced down to a criminal mischief. He made a lot of bad choices. He was close to finishing one of his classes, and then the burglary arrest occurred. Doesn't excuse what happened. He made a bad mistake to go someplace with who's now the mother of his child, mother of his child to be. She's due in 4 months.
She's due in June.
In June,
5 months.
5 months. He
What
should.
did you do when that criminal trespass occurred?
No, we found out she was pregnant when she was incarcerated.
Okay.
She got arrested with him
Oh.
at that instance. She was, our understanding was the main aggressor at the door, but the state reduced her case to a criminal mischief, and they did so with my client. He understands he made that mistake. He should have never been there. They went there to get the clothing for Kimberly's children, not his child, correct? But nonetheless, it was a bad mistake to go. He understands that. That's why he took this plea. He understands he had been making a lot of mistakes on his probation, but while he's been sitting in jail, Judge, he's tried to turn his life around. You saw the certificate of completion for the child class, the fact that he's been going to meetings. He's really been trying to change things for himself, even though he understands he made a mistake, and it's a grievous mistake. He's throwing himself on the mercy of the court, hoping, one, you reinstate him. He's got a job waiting for him. He's got this baby coming in 5 months. And if not, he understands, but he's hoping you give him a more lenient sentence to 6 months in state jail or a year, so that he can do his time and get back to his job and help raise his child and move on in his life.
So what has he done on probation? Has he done anything?
I did,
Want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Munoz.
All right. What have you done on probation?
I completed my first class with the driver safety course. I was right before catching this charge. I was one class away from finishing my parenting class. Then after that, I was going to start my AA. I was showing up to my meetings and everything, but I didn't end up showing to my drug testing because money was tight, but also I didn't have a reliable transportation. But my sister has an extra car that she paid off and got her new car, so she told me that hopefully willingly that she has another car for me so I can have reliable transportation and show up to my meetings, drug testing, my job and classes or anything that I need to do to be responsible for myself.
He says money and transportation stopped him from drug testing, but probation doesn't pause because life is inconvenient. Missing 9 tests isn't confusion, it's a pattern. When compliance only happens when it's easy, that's not effort. That's selective responsibility.
All right, any questions, state?
Or yes, Judge.
Okay,
Mr. Munoz, so when you were placed on probation, you provided the probation office with an address of 15800 Chase Hill Boulevard. And then it was apartment 310. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay, whose apartment was that?
That was my ex-stepfather's.
Okay. And so one condition that you had for your probation, I guess it was amended later on, was that you were supposed to reside with your mother at 2503 Jackson Keller Road. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay, and so at the time that you were arrested for this charge that you just pled to, the
Criminal trespass.
You were not residing with your mom, correct?
Yes, ma'am. It's because they ended up splitting up. My mom and my ex-stepdad.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, that address at Chase Hill Boulevard, so your mom and your stepdad were living together there, is that correct?
No, Chase Hill Boulevard. That was
Your stepdad's address.
no. The stepdad address was 2503 Jackson Keller and Chase Boulevard. I was staying with my partner's friend. She helped us roommate there, but I had ended up telling my probation officers because I had nowhere to go. That was my last option. Because I was throughout this time, I was back and forth through hotels and motels.
Okay, and so you were not residing with your mom, you were residing with Kimberly and then the friend that was helping y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then regarding your urinalysis, you were instructed to provide samples multiple times. If we're looking here. 9 times, you recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you didn't show up to provide UA 9 times.
Yeah, it was like I didn't really have too much reliable transportation, and it was just where I was staying at. My mom and people, it just didn't match their time schedules, what they were working, and I was trying my best, and every money that I did had, it was either helping out on rent or going on.
Okay, so help me understand this correctly, because you're saying that you have reliable transportation to go provide your analysis, correct? However, on the day that you were arrested for criminal trespass, you and Kimberly were in possession of a Dodge Durango, correct?
Yes.
And you all drove over to Dionisa's address, correct? So you have reliable transportation to go commit other crimes, but not to comply with your probation. Is that correct?
Yes, but I had just asked my sister if I could pick up her stuff. That was that extra car that she was talking that I was speaking of.
But she couldn't provide you help to comply with probation?
It was she had just got a new car about the beginning of September. So at the time when I did ask her, she was like, she didn't really want to let me use it, but she was just like, I just needed to get his clothes.
This is the moment credibility cracks. He couldn't get to drug testing, but had a car to commit a new offense. Transportation wasn't the issue. Priorities were. The judge isn't confused here. She's exposing the gap between excuses and actual choices.
And then you stated that you completed the aggressive driving course, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And probation was provided with a copy of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you were also ordered to do your sober support meetings and parenting class, and the parenting class is something that you completed while you were in custody after being arrested, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the one time that you did show up to UA in July of 2025, you were positive for marijuana, correct? And so you're here asking this court to be lenient on you, is that correct?
Yep.
But you have not provided any evidence to this court that 1, you deserve leniency, or 2, that you ever intended to comply with probation. You agree with me, right?
That's right.
Okay. You pass the witness.
Any further questions?
Just a few, Judge. Vincent, you sort of glommed over the fact that you didn't show up to these UA tests because of transportation, correct? Was financial and the financial aspect also a reason you didn't show up?
Yes.
Explain that to the judge.
A lot of money that I had saved up was going towards hotels, and I didn't really have nowhere to go. So that was mainly where my money was going at, and I didn't really have a car, so I would always use Uber to get food or something like that.
And you're not trying to tell the judge that you have an excuse for everything, correct?
No, I take full accountability for my reasons.
So you understand you did very poorly on this probation,
Yes.
but you're trying to explain why. It was, a lot of it was financial. And so you would show up to me with your probation officer, they would tell you to show up for a urinalysis test, and you told them you didn't have the money, correct?
Yes.
Because it costs every time you show up to give a urine test.
Yes.
And so and you pled true to not showing up because you didn't, right?
Yes.
So even though you messed up on your probation, you were trying, correct?
Yes.
And you almost finished that parenting class through probation, didn't you?
Yes, I was 1 class away.
Okay, and then you got arrested because of another bad decision, right?
Yes, sir.
But while in jail, you did complete the parenting class.
Yes, sir. And then I started my AA classes as well.
Okay. If the judge grants you this opportunity to stay on probation, can you promise her, in spite of financial reasons, you'll make every meeting, you'll show up and you'll be clean?
I promise, and I do stand on that, as well as as I told her, I have reliable transportation. I talked to my grandma here a lot too. She put about 300 aside for me for my drug test. Kimberly as well. She has a few checks that she had saved up while being in here. She told me as well she could help me with my restitution fees. And when I get my job, I can end up finish paying it off and then just do my AA classes. That's the only class that I have left.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, any objection to the court asking some questions, or State, do you have any questions?
I don't have any other.
No objections, Judge.
Since 2024, when you were placed on this probation, have you ever been employed?
I was working under the table most of the time with painting. And then I ended up, when I got arrested in October, and then when I got out, it was hard for me to find a job. But then I ended up finding a job and I was working about 3-4 months. They let me go. They were letting a lot of people go, but I was working under as a temp for Pacific Seafood. And then from there, I was working with my grandmother. She does events downtown, so I would work every weekend about selling food, setting up the booths, doing that. But while being in here, my mom has a job, and she ended up talking to her supervisors and her team lead, and they said that they have a spot waiting.
All right. And then did you tell probation that you would no longer be able to reside at the listed location?
Yes.
And that was ordered by another judge.
Yes.
When did you tell them you would not be residing at that location?
When I went to one of my probation meetings, I told her that my ex-stepdad and my mom, they ended up splitting up, he kicked us out because he has a new partner. And then I ended up going with my grandma's house, and then Kimberly ended up getting pregnant about 2-3 months while I was there.
All right, why do you say, I don't like when people use the term ended up getting pregnant. Were
Well,
you
no,
not a part of that?
No, yeah, I was. Not my fault.
So, I mean, everybody knows, I'm assuming, how old are you?
Me, I'm 27.
All right, people know how babies are made. So you all
We both
decide or to have a child.
She ended up being pregnant at that time, and my grandma didn't really, because of me getting locked up last year, it was a situation due with her. They didn't really get along too much. So when she had ended up finding that out, she told me I had to leave. So I was staying with her at 6818 Carver-Senor. I was there for about 2-3 months. Her and her mom ended up getting into it because she had a miscarriage. Then from there, that's when we were staying at hotels and we were just trying to find somewhere to go. And then I asked my grandma if I could stay there again. My uncle ended up moving in. He was just like, I don't want nobody living here because this is going to be my house pretty soon. And I had nowhere to really go. And then while she found her friend, we stayed at Chase Boulevard. She was letting us stay there. And then right about the ending of September, my sister told me that she ended up getting an apartment. She got another car. She was like, if you do end up not staying there, y'all can come move in with me. And then all this ended up happening.
This is what I don't understand, and maybe you can help me understand it. Why is it that people, they don't have a place to stay, they don't have a stable employment, and they decide they're going to bring a child in the world and they can't even support themselves? And everything that you've told me, and I listened to your answers to the questions, everything that you've told me, you're relying on somebody else. Kimberly has money that she's been saving up since she's been in custody. Somebody else has money, your grandmother, they've been saving up money. And if neither one of them give you that money, we're going to be right back here.
Well, I have that job waiting for me, so I'm willing to work with that. My mom told me they paid from 17, 18 an hour, and I'd be working 3 days a week. So I'd save up all my checks and just pay what I need to pay off myself, take care of my responsibilities.
Any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
No, Judge.
Any objection?
The judge zeroes in on the real issue, dependence. Every solution comes from someone else's money, car, or patience. Probation demands independence and consistency. If support disappears, the behavior collapses, and the court knows it'll see him again.
Have you read the court summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. After reading the court summary, probation is basically saying you were never compliant. They said that there was a previous motion to revoke, and this was with a different judge. They say following a motion to revoke filed on October 31st, 2024 for a new offensive assault, his conditions were amended on January 9th to require weekly reporting indefinitely and residency with his mother. It says, despite these directives, the probationer refused to reside with his mother, citing conflicts, and instead stayed temporarily in a hotel before moving in with his grandmother, failing to provide proof of residence. He has remained unemployed, completed only an aggressive driving course on May 20th, 2025, and otherwise made no progress or required parenting or other classes. He has paid only $38 towards his fees, leaving a delinquency of $1,412. And see, I understand when people can't pay money, but from 2024 to only have paid $38 towards your fees, that's sort of not really trying. And they say his reporting has been inconsistent with frequent failures to appear and intermittent walk-ins, and field visits were often unsuccessful due to his absence. A manager hearing on August 22nd, 2025 documented his continued noncompliance and failure to pay fees, during which he was encouraged to obtain employment. Despite these interventions, he remains noncompliant. Yeah, I don't think probation is for you. I'm going to grant the motion. I'm going to find you guilty, revoke. This will run concurrent with 2025 CR 014998. The court will sentence you to 20 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. And I'll ask for the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you have a limited right to appeal? The right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And I want you to know your attorney did do a great job, and I did listen to everything and internalize everything. But sometimes, you know, you're just not doing well on probation, and there's nothing I can do. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
The judge made it clear, probation isn't for everyone. Choices stacked up, excuses ran out, and discretion met reality. This sentence isn't about punishment, it's about patterns. So here's the question, was this accountability overdue, or did the defendant waste his last chance? Comment below, hit like, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns.